I'm Dorothy Godin, broker at Remax Crown Realty, and welcome to Thursday Thoughts. Let's talk about feedback. When I first got in the business, and even like 10 years ago, feedback was natural, and we got feedback almost the same day as a showing, or certainly the next day. During COVID, we noticed, and I don't know what it was, but the market was so busy, agents were so busy that we found less and less feedback was coming. And now the new trend that I've noticed is we're hardly getting any feedback. And I know from a seller perspective, when you have a showing, you want feedback so badly. I want feedback for my people. I want to know what all the buyers are thinking. But from the buyer's perspective, the buyer agent owes a fiduciary duty to their buyer. So they have to be very, very careful what they share. Number one, as a buyer agent, I should be getting permission from my buyer about what is it that you want me to share with the seller. And I caution everyone, whatever I tell the seller could be used against you. So be very, very careful. Obviously, we're not going to go back to the seller and talk about how much we love the house. We want this house. We'll do anything to get this house. You definitely don't want to do that. You also don't want to go in very negatively about the house and putting the house down, and ticking off the seller and then think that there's going to be a nice, smooth negotiating trend if you've already ticked off the seller. So I caution my buyers about what we were going to share. And I tell my sellers, don't expect too much from feedback. It's usually very, very general. And to be honest, like no feedback is feedback. If you didn't get an offer, the house wasn't for them. Now, it's good to know that, feedback is not going to be coming. And I think we're going to see that more and more of a trend that we're not going to get feedback. I do try and call everyone to see what their thoughts are. And again, buyer reps have to be very, very careful. Are they giving their feedback personally, or are they giving the client's feedback? And even if they're giving their personal feedback, they made that appointment under the assumption that they are working for that buyer. So there's it's very tricky. And as I say, it's going to be very, very vague. Now, I will give feedback if I walk into a house and there is something that is dangerous or something that affects value or that's a surprise that the seller should know about. I am going to give that feedback. So for example, I walk into a house and there's water in the basement that, clearly wasn't disclosed. So there's a good chance that seller didn't even know. And so definitely I'm going to call the agent and say, look, I was in the house and there's water there. Or like the one time when I lost the cat, when the cat left the house, I am going to, have to tell the seller, listen, the cat left. So feedback from that perspective, when it has to do with the house physically, and we should be telling the seller, we're definitely going to be telling the seller. So as a seller, we all, and for myself too, as a seller rep, we all have to take it down a notch with our expectation with feedback, because we're not going to get great feedback anymore. So I hope you find that helpful. I'll see you next week. Have a good week. As always, you can reach me at Dorothy Godin at remax.net or 705-561-2360. Have a good one.